having blueberry muffin this morning, incidentally, as the fragrance for today.
This is how we pour the candles at the farmhouse.
Good morning, this is Mike Bohannon. I want to welcome you on behalf of the Farmhouse Collection and the Jamesport Candle Company to our facility where we produce our candles. We are set up for two different types of wax in our production. Okay, as we get ready to pour candles, we keep our wax in two different large containers here on each end. One holds the straight paraffin wax that we use for the little melters and the votive candles. It is considered a dry wax, and so as a result it shrinks away from the molds a person can handle it. The other wax that we use, there's a sample box of it here sitting on the counter, and it is the blend of paraffin and soy or vegetable wax that we use. It's really oily wax, but it's a premium quality wax, burns cleanly. To that wax, when we mix it in the machine in the middle with the hose, we add a block dye on 99% of our candles. On a few we use a liquid dye.
Not chocolate bars.
What are they?
They're dyes. But they're not chocolate.
We heat our glass to about the same temperature as our wax, and we use nothing more that's not high tech, but it's an old bread warmer that heats that glass up to that point. Glass is American made. We use a premium or a good quality glass in order to have a good quality product candle. The wicks that we use as we pour our candles, we use 4 different sizes in that size because the wicks are a cotton wrap around a little zinc wire. The zinc wire is strictly for stiffness so that the wick does not settle down to the bottom of the candle after it's been poured. The wicks are rated on the size of the burn pool that they create, and so we use 4 different sizes in our jar candles. They are sized to the diameter of the jar that we're pouring in. Wicks are hot glued to the bottom of the jars in order to hold them in place until the wax cools somewhat. We mix our fragrance and our wax and our dye in this machine behind me. It has a small pump down on the bottom, a heated hose, and then a dispenser nozzle that we use to dispense the wax out as it's pumped up and over. The little pump dispenses it up through the hose and back down. The hose is heated. The original purpose for the hose was for hot glue. But it keeps our wax warm as it goes from the tank through the dispenser nozzle. Our pouring process takes from start to finish about 4 to 5 hours. We pour, we let them set for about an hour. The wicks get soft and fall over due to the heat that we use when we pour. And so at about an hour, hour and a half, we will come back through and recenter that wick. By that point, the wax has cooled somewhat, so that damages the top of the candle. But within another couple of hours, we will come back through and do a top fill. That levels the top of the candle out, hides the damage from centering that wick, and at that point, we make sure the wick is centered and where we want it in the candle. And so, generally, as a rule of thumb, I allow 4 to 5 hours from start to finish on the candles. Candles were poured a couple of days ago, so they're nice and cool. And the next step in this process will be trimming the wicks. We recommend that the wicks be trimmed to 1/4 of an inch or a little bit less. Make sure that you have a good clean burning candle. Our candles burn cleanly with the blend of wax that we use, but it's important with ours or any other companies that you keep that wick trimmed in order to get a clean burn on your candle, and besides that, it makes your candle last longer. These have been trimmed. They are ready to wipe the outside of the glass. We generally wipe the outside to remove any wax residue. The blend of paraffin and soy is a really oily wax, and in order to get our labels to stick properly, we need to wipe them off to make sure we've gotten rid of the wax or fingerprints or anything else on there so that our labels adhere properly.